You transferred to another officer who told you you could not live or stay at the alternate address because it's within 1,000 feet of a school. Okay, so then they said you could stay up to 3 days away from home. Well, they had not seen you within 4 days. The big problem is the landlord, Larry Davenport, says that he had been trying to locate you to collect rent.
We're going to watch a parole revocation hearing of a man who has been in and out of prison his entire life, over 7 felonies. His first crime against a child was in 1997, and since then, he has not been able to stay out of trouble. We'll watch as the parole board makes quick work of him.
The Louisiana Committee on Parole is impaneled at headquarters in Baton Rouge. The time is now 12:29, and we're hearing offender at Caddo Correctional Center. And I see staff there. Would you please introduce yourself today?
Assistant Chief Dashay Darby. Deputy Davis classification.
Hey, thank you very much. We have before us an offender who is here for a revocation decision. On the panel today, did I introduce y'all?
No.
It's Mr. Tillis to my left, Ms. Stapleton to my right, and Ms. Ledoux. Do you have a parole revocation questionnaire in front of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's a Supreme Court screening tool, and it shows that you are not eligible for appointed counsel today. So we're going to go ahead. What I'm going to do is read the allegations against you, and I'm going to ask you to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty or guilty with a statement. Okay, and then we'll allow you to make the statement at the proper time.
Okay.
So why don't you introduce your name with your DOC number?
Charles Ray Gibson Jr., 313261.
Okay. Mr. Gibson, you've been charged with violating condition number 3 of parole in that you moved from your listed residence without prior permission or knowledge from your parole officer, and you did not register a new address for the Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office. How do you plead?
I guilty with a statement.
Condition number 4, on 5/7/2024, you tested positive for THC, cocaine, and alcohol. And on 5/31 of this year, you admitted to using cocaine. How do you plead?
Guilty.
And number 9, you moved from your listed residence without prior permission or knowledge from your parole officer, in which conducting home visits were impossible. How do you plead?
Not guilty with a statement.
All right. So I'd like to ask you, you are you're currently on supervision for bank fraud. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is your statement about not being where you were supposed to be? Because there's a difference between where you live and where you put your head.
Exactly.
And you're a registered sex offender?
Yes, ma'am.
And so it's even more critical that we know where your head is.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Give me your statement on that, please.
Well, see, I have a full-time employment job, and when my parole officer come by the house, I'm not there at that time, and also I report it every month, and I attend all my classes that I'm supposed to attend. But when she come by, our time difference is different. You know, I leave at 5 in the morning. I do landscaping service. When I leave at 5 in the morning until I get through my work, she says she's come around about 5:30. We miss each other. But when she calls me and tell me to come to the office, I come to the office.
Okay. Tell me the address that's on your parole certificate.
Northern Avenue, Shreveport, Louisiana.
So the problem is that your officer has to know, and I read in the report, in the preliminary hearing, you transferred to another officer who told you you could not live or stay at the alternate address because it's within 1,000 feet of a school. Okay, so then they said you could stay up to 3 days away from home. Well, they had not seen you within 4 days. The big problem is the landlord, Larry Davenport, says that he had been trying to locate you to collect rent. Okay, so there's two people looking for you, the landlord looking for his rent money and your officer. If you had a phone, did she try to call you?
And she called me, and I came in as she asked.
But she could pop in, in any time whenever you're at that address. You're supposed to be at that address. Did you work nights?
No, ma'am, I only work from 5 in the morning till whenever I get through with my work, 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. And plus, I was attending my classes, which I supposed to been attending.
Hey, you understand that your roommate also said that he hadn't seen you.
Yes. They also work. And when our times are different. I mean, I comes in, they go out. I mean, I can't explain that, but
Okay. And you're not supposed to have drugs or alcohol.
correct.
Do my colleagues have any questions?
You've answered the ones I wanted to ask, so I don't have any.
Ms. Stapleton? Mr. Gibson, I only bring this up to show you that you're a 7th felony offender. You know the conditions. If a parole officer is having trouble getting in touch with you and you're doing drugs, you know what's going to happen.
Yes.
Okay. So my vote today is going to be to revoke your parole. Okay. Mr. Chillis,
I concur to revoke.
Ms. Stapleton.
And I concur to revoke.
So, sir, your parole has been revoked today. That concludes the hearing at Caddo. It's 12:30. Oh, no, wait, we have one more. I'm sorry. We have one more. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
But I'll tell you that this man has a long record. Like this, it's 7 felonies. So his first crime, let me give you a little bit of information that Sir Richard has. His first crime against a child dates all the way back to June 11, 1997. He was released 7/27/2006. So if you're going to spend 9 years in prison for battery against a child, and it's Louisiana, probably it was really bad and he pleaded down to battery. You got to assume it was one of the worst. And he gets out and he picks up many more felonies. One of the that he was charged with somewhat recently, as a matter of fact, let me share this one with you. I'm looking at all of his arrests. So he has arrests 2/25/2016, 9/23/2016, 7/19/2017, 1/16/2019. But here's the one that it's just happened August 12th, 2020. And that is failure to appear bench warrant, cyber stalking, violation of protection order 3 times. I don't know what that means, 3, 4, and 5. Stalking, cyber stalking again. I don't know why you get multiple counts or the multiple victims. I don't know. Unlawful use of access to social media, failure to register as a sex offender, and those are the charges just in 2020. Like, what does this man have to do to get like a proper sentence, really? I mean, I dare to think what that's all about. And, let me see what the other ones are. Let me go. I'm going to read to you. I'm not going to share the screen because it shows information that YouTube doesn't like. But he has 2014 failure to register. Then he has 2016 attempt or commit, but it doesn't say for what. I don't know what that means. Then 2923 attempt or commit. Again, no idea what that is. $500 bail. 7/19/2017 battery of a police officer. Wow. Failure to register as a sex offender. Can you imagine? 2 counts of battery of police officer. And let's see what the next one is. I think is the one that we just read to you, where it has the cyber stalking and all that stuff. No, this is a different one. This is 2019. Failure to register as a sex offender. So, like, yeah, can't live within 1,000 feet of a school, but it's just, well, whatever. What can you do? I'm happy Mr. Tillis didn't say I do not revoke. I wonder how much time he's backing. Who knows? It's like as if they just don't care. But there you have it. With that, we can move to the next hearing or let you go.